Okay, so just I'm going to draw the two cylinders on the sides first. I'm going to start in 2D for a couple of reasons. We'll see how that works. So one on the left has a diameter of 2, 4.5 inches over has a diameter of 1. Right, and then I'm going to connect the tangent lines, right? So with a line started, right? First point, before you click your first point, tangent. And then before you click your second point, tangent. So those override any other snaps that might go on. And so I'll just mirror that across the center of those things. And there's that start. Oh, and then because this is a 3D shape, I'm going to make a 3D closed shape out of it, right? So those 4 lines, join them together. And that way I can extrude that, give it the depth it needs, right? So if I just extrude this thing up, I'm pretty much done with this. And so even though I'm intruding on the circular space, when I union those together, all that inside stuff goes away anyway, so it'll be perfect. So how tall is this thing anyway? Looks like that much. Okay. All right, so go back to the top view. So now this is just a 3D solid right here, so I don't have to worry about it. So, and the circles are just 2D circles. So the vertical brace, I guess, that goes between these 2 cylinders, I could draw in like a constructed, I suppose. Yeah, I don't want that dynamic UCS. Where is that? Right there, dynamic UCS. Go ahead and hit F6, turn that off. And that way I can like draw regular 2D stuff without that 3D solid kind of getting in the way. It's recognizing the surface over it and stuff. Okay, so that line right there is just connecting center to center. And if I drew a box, I guess, so I could offset that by half as much. The thing's 1/2 inch wide, so 1/4 inch up, 1/4 inch down, that's 1/2 inch, right? So here's the issue, right? They don't touch the circle. So I could extend them to touch the circle, I guess. And that means, well, let's go ahead and do it. So you can use the trim command, right? So trim, there's nothing to trim here, but see, but if I hold the shift key down, it turns into the extend tool, right? So holding shift allows me to extend those lines to the next thing that it goes to. So, and then I'll do the same thing, connect them together. 2 more lines here, and then I kind of don't need that one, right? So let's see what that does. Join those, extrude. This thing, yeah, well, okay, it's only, well, there's a problem with this, right? Because they're slanted on the ends or whatever, right? So extruding that doesn't really help me too much. Although we could edit the vertices and stuff. We've done that before. So let's just give it a try. So this and that circle get extruded 2 inches on one side. So, okay, I'll just do those both 2 inches. And then this circle on the right, that cylinder's only 1 inch. So 1. And then it gets moved up, looks like 3/4 of, well, no, 1/2 inch, right? Yeah. So we'll move that up 1/2 inch. Okay, so things are looking all right, I guess. But what I'll need to do, oh, I'll move this up. It looks like 3/4 of an inch to there. So yeah, let's get that in place. Okay, so looking pretty good except for this thing. And then, so if I go to what, vertex or edge, maybe edge, and select that edge, hover over it, allow triangulation, and bring it straight down. Well, I don't know how far. Oh yeah, actually I do know how far. 3/4, 1/2 inch, right? It even has that dimension there for you. So that puts it right on the surface there. And hit escape to deselect that one edge, and we're still on edge. If you hit escape again, it takes it out of edge mode or whatever. So allow triangulation. Hello. Thank you. And then go straight up. Might have to zoom in, go straight up 3/4. No, 1/2 inch. That puts it there. Okay. Sounds good, right? Well, okay. Let's put this in conceptual view and see what's going on. I see that intersecting across there, and that might be okay if I union, let's just union all this together, right? So solid union, just select the whole shebang, and there. And so now everything, it's actually more impressive when you're in 2D. Here, let's undo this. Okay. Let's go back to 2D and do it. You get them all? Yeah. See that? Took away all that inside stuff. Then I can go to, okay, it wasn't all that impressive. So what that did, so that doesn't exactly look like what the book has. We're looking at where I see the circular, the top of the cylinder is a full cylinder, isn't it? So that doesn't really work because it's cutting the cylinder. It's making it flat on that side, right? Okay, okay. So let's undo that a little bit. So undo the union thing here. Okay. So maybe, oh yeah, get out of edge mode here. Maybe that's not a good way to do it, right? Okay. So I'm just going to delete it. So these are okay. I think this is just fine. So I'm going to go to the front view, and maybe we can draw it this other way, right? So I'm going to use a polyline. Actually, I'm going to pivot around. So I'm going to start right at the center. I'm going to draw a polyline that goes center to center to the quadrants and then close. So this thing, and then I'll extrude it, right? Just center to the quadrant to center, bottom quadrant, center, and then close. And then I'll extrude it the 1/2 inch it needs. And then I'll need to move it, right? So move. Actually, I can snap to the midpoint and bring it to the quadrant. Yeah. Oh no. Okay. And now if I do, so, well, let's see what it looks like in conceptual here. It has a little edge here, but I don't know. Let's see what it looks like when I union it. Well, now it's round, but a little bit more, right? So you have the choice, I guess, to do one or the other. And if I went around with an arc to extrude, okay, well, I guess I could. We got time. Let's undo that. I kind of like this one better, but let's just see if we can make it ununion that. Okay. All right, so let's say that's not good enough. Maybe I want to, how about this? Polyline. I'd still need to do it in 2D first. Maybe not. I just cobble the thing together. So yeah, here's what I'm thinking, a 3D polyline, right? Oops, that's a 2D. Here's a 3D polyline. I can start at the center here and move over, get it centered right away, right? Have a 1/4 inch to the one side, and then it won't recognize that, but that's okay. Let's go past it. And then in the top view, or what I was going to do is make a circle. Yeah, it wants to go that way because, so start the top view, just draw a circle at the center of this thing and go out to there. And then I could trim that off. So maybe I want to mirror that. Okay, and so, and connect, right? Just connect those guys. And so now I have, well, potentially, maybe I don't need that because all I want is that part right there. And I'll do the same thing over here. Right? Another circle at the center of this quadrant. And then another line offset from the center, 1/4 inch to there, and then mirror that. Okay, and then now I have everything I need for, let's trim that circle off and that circle off. So now all I have left are these two arcs, right? Even though you can't really see them because they're kind of on top of the other one. Yeah. Yeah, so this is at the bottom, so I'm gonna need to select these guys and move them from the bottom to the top. There. Okay, so I kind of have the makings of kind of get that guy out of the way a little bit. Okay, now 3D polyline. I could start at this intersection, maybe. It doesn't recognize. How about just a line? Oh. There's my arc. It needs to be moved up. Quadrant to quadrant, that'll work. Okay, and now 3D polyline at the end point here. Yeah, there's where I want to go. And then to the other end point here, do another one on the other side. Okay, so then I don't need these two lines or these two lines. Right, doesn't that make the shape we're after? The problem with that is they're not coplanar, right? So if I go to the front view, see that? If I try, I can't extrude that. I can't make a 3D shape out of that because I can't even loft the two together. We used the loft tool before. If I made the same thing on the bottom and lofted those two together, it wouldn't work because those aren't coplanar. There's really not a way to make this the way the book shows it. Right? I mean, as far as this goes, this is on 2D paper or whatever. They just drew two lines over there and it's just drawn, but physically that doesn't happen. That can't happen, right? So that was as close as I could get. That guy right there, but that's not, that doesn't produce a flat surface anyway. So goodbye. Yeah, best thing we can do, I think, like I said before, I don't know if I can get over that erase one that I did before. Right there. Go before that. Erase. Back. Erase. Yeah, that one. See, this one is probably as close as we can get. So I'm just going to union these together. So anyway, when working with 3D, it's important to realize what's possible and what isn't. So that's about as good as it gets. And then, yeah, don't forget the holes through the centers, right? So we're okay. And that game. There. About as good as it gets. It's not perfect. Well, can't be anyway. So there you go.